Hey, neighbor, how you dey? Man get you no, one day I remember that, I remember, Tiero, Adodie, Ekujo meta, to Bobilenko. Hey, neighbor, I beg, remember picking day here with you, eh? My rush go market, they come back now. Ojuola, Ekaite, please, when you guys return from school, you people should go and stay with that our neighbor, that our next door neighbor, Uncle Mike, Uncle Mike, people should go and stay with him, eh? When I come back from work in the evening, I'll come and pick you guys. Ọkwa n'eziokwu. Onye agbata obi mma nọkwa n'ụlọ nwanne ya. I remember those days when one's child was everyone's child. Your neighbor could take care of your child, especially in your absence. But nowadays, the story is different. It's either they take undue advantages of those children or get unnecessary attitude from parents because they scolded and corrected those children. Why? How did we arrive here? The society has so degraded to the extent that neighbors are no longer trustworthy. What am I even saying? You've not fully trusted your spouse, relatives, your house helps that live with you, with your children, let alone your neighbors. Here. On a more serious note, who is a neighbor? Can anything good come out of a neighbor? Oh yes, even the Bible recognizes that in Proverbs 18:24, that there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. That your neighbor could metamorphose into a friend. As a neighbor, he could help you in terms of emergencies, provide social companionship, laughter, feeling of completeness, render help physically, emotionally, materially, and otherwise. N'eziokwu, ogo kapamba owaremma. Nevertheless, it is still not enough reason for you to completely trust him here with your life, marriage, and children. To what extent do we really know our neighbors? Even when they appear to be good, can you vouch for them? That he is your neighbor does not mean he has to hold your data, your biography, your history, your private privacy, your secrecy, your past, everything that has to do with you in his palm. Yeah, all the are risky because one day he could blackmail you with those information you fed him with ignorantly. That she is your neighbor does not mean she has to walk in and out of your house anytime she wants, intrude into your privacy. In fact, becomes the chairperson of that relationship. Hey, hey, hey. She could get the attention of your husband, though. And I need not to tell you the implication of that action. My neighbor, he rapes your child. Neighbor, he impregnates your daughter. That neighbor you have known over the years could change overnight. That neighbor you've known so long, in fact, he was there when you conceived, and gave birth to your child. He practically helped you take care of that child as a baby. And now that your child is about 12 with her fine face and, growing breast, would that neighbor still see that child as that baby he used to take care of in the past? Or will some chemistry, some thoughts, start grumbling in that empty head of his? And you see him, pim, 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 touching your child in a way he's not supposed to. Come to think of it, many women abandon their home for their neighbors. Do house choice in your house. Take care of your family. The moment their neighbor fries, chai, they will be the first to present a plate. Okay, go home and make that same meal for your family. It's not as if hubby did not drop money. Most times, husbands will drop the money. But that is a part of lifestyle, a particular lifestyle she has chosen for herself. What am I even saying? Borrowing. She will borrow pepper, borrow salt, matches, tissue, small little things from a neighbor. But she comes up well dressed. She's always dressed in the latest. Makwandaibo. But those little things, she will pick them from the neighbors. Why? Always in the neighbor's house. Have you ever thought of how your husband will feel if he comes back and always meets you in a neighbor's place? For the guys, most of them, first point of contact once they are returning from work, neighbors. As the day breaks, first point of contact, neighbors. They will go there and play draft from morning till night. Always there. Bothering people, intruding into people's privacy. You are inconveniencing them. Have you ever thought of that? Even the Bible is against it. I don't turn to prophetess this time around. Proverbs 25:17 says, seldom step your feet into your neighbor's house, lest he hates you. You should be careful the way you bug people with your presence. Seriously, some people will borrow and borrow clothes from neighbors. Gele, jewelry, shoes. It's awful, but it's true. What are we doing and what are we not doing? Sometimes, believe me, a 3, 4 year child could comfortably sit down and predict a neighbor. Tell you, mommy. And then if I could count 20, believe me, Uncle Mike will be here. And before the child finishes that count, Uncle Mike has arrived. Wonderful uncle. You are highly welcome, though. It got to an extent where some people will interrupt other people's privacy because they want to foreclose into what is happening in another person's affair. Some people actually unnecessarily visit to their neighbors because they want to know what is happening in the neighbor's house. What did your husband say? What did your wife say? What is the next line of action? What will you people eat tomorrow? What is this one? And what is that one? Hey! Unfortunately, when gist finishes now, what else will you start gisting? You start gossiping. Start talking about people. Better be careful what you discuss with your neighbor, because when there will be a misunderstanding, believe me, those things you guys discussed privately will be a point of attack on you. Of course, he will use it against you. In as much as it's good for us to relate well, have a very good rapport with our neighbors, there should be limitations. Good neighbors are wonderful, but relating with them appropriately is the best. Candid advice.